Hello to another episode of SoFly on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yay, YouTube.
Yay.
My name is Mitch, and we've got Aldo,
Hi.
and we've got Matt Dodson with us today.
Hey guys.
Matt, welcome to our YouTube stuff.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, we just started doing this the other day because mostly because we're in isolation, we're all kind of bored, and we got like time on our hands, and we just figured we'll have a little bit of fun. Today we're gonna be doing a blindfolded YouTube video, tying video like we did in our last video. Like we said before, huge respect for fly tying, and if you're looking for instruction, don't watch this video. If you're looking for how to tie a fly blindfolded, keep watching because it's exactly what we're gonna do today. Do you guys have your buffs and stuff like that?
I got my buff. I got my buff on my forehead, and unlike last time, I'm going to start with the thread on the hook because I'm going to tie a gotcha. I'm going to tie a gotcha with Matt. Matt, are you going to tie a gotcha?
I am. Yeah, I bought all this bone fishing fly tying stuff, including 150 Gamakatsu hooks. And then a week later, my bone fishing trip was canceled. So.
Oh man.
Man. Hey, before we start, Matt, what are you drinking?
Kokanee.
Oh,
yes.
baby.
It's I don't know. Olympia beer is pretty popular here, and their slogan is "It's the water." I don't know what Kokanee's slogan is, but it is.
Well, thanks for honoring us, Canadians. I'm honoring you by drinking Willie's Distillery, the Bighorn bourbon.
Bighorn bourbon, that's great.
Yeah, man.
So good.
That's from when I was in Ennis, which is where you're from.
Yep.
I'm drinking Molson Canadian, guys.
Molson.
Nice. Wow, keeping it real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping it really real.
Is Kokanee like here? Like PBR used to be like for old dudes, and now it's like hip. Is Kokanee yet? Is Kokanee hip yet?
I would say Kokanee's like as hip as like we, want it to be. Like we drink Bush and like Labatt 50 and stuff because.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know. I like all those beers.
For me, Kokanee is like it's a West Coast thing. Like I went to a small I went to university in a small university town, and it was like 2005, and Kokanee was doing a big marketing push, and they had the girls driving around what was called like the student ghetto, like where all the students lived, and just dropping off 2-4s. And these two beautiful girls were on my doorstep just dropping off a 2-4 one day. And I was
That's kind of cool.
You know what? I kind of like Kokanee.
Yeah. We'll love it.
Anyway.
Well, here we are today tying blindfold YouTube videos once again. I'm going to blindfold myself. We got our buffs. Maybe what we do is we'll start this by tying a fly, and we'll talk about what flies we're tying while we're going. And then, Matt, maybe you could just talk about some of the flies that you're stocking your box up with during this time of isolation, and we can just talk about fly fishing in Montana. If you haven't heard the podcast yet of Matt talking about his guiding life in Montana, go to sofly.ca and check it out on the website because it's super cool. But yeah, why don't we do that?
Cool.
All right, let's
Sounds
do this.
good. Yeah, we met Matt in Texas when we were down there fishing for redfish, and Matt hosts trips in the Bahamas and guides out in Montana and Texas, and so I'm gonna tie a gotcha with him. Mitchie, what are you tying?
Today I'm gonna tie a black woolly bugger.
Ooh.
Yeah, because you know what? Last video I didn't want to hackle the fly, and then, but this time I want to give it a whirl. I want to see if I can do it.
I did that thing last time where I didn't. Okay, now I know where my. You know what? I want to know where my beer is.
Oh God, I don't know. That's a good thing to know.
I just thought of a public safety announcement.
Yeah.
It might have been a good idea for me to pinch a barb before we did this.
Oh, true. Good point.
True. My pliers are nowhere like near me.
Buddy.
Man, see, I messed this up again, and I forgot where I put my beer and my stuff.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, okay, I might reset here.
All right, give her.
There's my beer.
I'm good now.
Got my scissors. Got my things. Okay. So yeah, Matt, the whole point of this is we're going to tie these really crappy flies, and then Mitch has a really awesome cottage with a really great bass pond, and we're going to see if any of these actually work. So I'm going to tie my gotcha a little bit darker than I'm gonna say probably would normally do it, and see if it can like trick a bass into thinking it's a crayfish.
I'm sure, yeah, a little bait fish or something, they'll jump on it.
Hmm.
Shall we get ready? Shall we ready to rock and start tying? Everybody at
I'm
the same
ready.
time?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I think yeah.
You ready,
3,
Matt?
Yeah,
All right, ready? 3,
Ready.
2, 1, start tying. Matt,
Boom.
what are you tying today?
I'm tying a number 4 gotcha.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And Aldo, you're also tying a gotcha, and I'm tying. Yeah, like
I'm
we
also
said.
I'm also on a number 4, and I think I'm on a am I on a partridge or a Gamakatsu hook? Well, either way, the hooks are awesome.
I
Nice.
do. I prefer the Gamakatsu SL11 3H for saltwater hook.
How come?
It is really strong. Usually sharp enough out of the box where you don't have to file it down at all,
Yeah.
and it doesn't rust too easily. And strong meaning like some of the like quintessential like named branded bonefish hooks
Yeah.
are too bendy for the big Andros bonefish. We're averaging
Mm,
4 to 5 pounds,
Yeah.
which with
wow.
double-digit fish for a good angler, definitely within reason.
I love Gamakatsu hooks.
Wow.
They're nice hooks, man.
Yeah.
Chemically
So I order
sharpened.
the 100 packs and
Oh yeah.
then get my trips canceled.
Oh god, yeah. Crazy year, man. So how is this isolation? How has this quarantine affected your guiding life?
Oh, it's shut it down.
Yeah.
We're deemed by the Montana governor as unessential business,
Right.
not essential business. So thankfully, our fishing access has not been taken away from us. Like the state of Washington has closed the activity of fishing.
Jeez.
And so hopefully if people are smart about it and don't stack up at a boat ramp
Yep.
too blatantly much, then our recreation, it's actually we're being encouraged to recreate outside as long as we're following distancing protocols.
Yep.
Okay.
That's good at least. So
Otherwise-
you're able to get on
That's
the
good.
water.
That's good. We're not. We have to stay home.
Right. So we're fortunate in Montana. We have right around 1 million people in the whole state.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know, like I forget the spacing, acreage, square miles per person. It's something crazy.
Yeah.
But if everybody's responsible, there's no reason not to take advantage of getting outside.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm realizing right now, too, guys? I forgot a dubbing, and I kind of want to put a dubbing on this fly. So I'm just going to kind of reach in my bag and try to find one. And I don't know what it's
Okay.
going to be.
Cool.
You're gonna what are you tying over there, Mitch?
A woolly bugger, but I want to have a big fat body on it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
A dubbed body.
A thick body, yeah.
So for a couple guys who don't really tie saltwater flies very often at all, what's your pattern for the gotcha? Like what are you using? What are your materials?
Well, it's with bonefish, matching the bottom is important. So I like to use the sand color craft fur.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm over white mud is basically in tan mud. So places, like in Belize or Mexico or the Keys where you might be over grass and coral, maybe like a brown or olive might be more effective.
So that's a really good point. When we were in Tobago, it was there was definitely some white sand, but it was a lot of grass and a lot of coral. So I found my most successful fly was, although not that I landed many fish, but I did get a lot of hookups. Was a green, like anything with a little bit of like green in it, whether it be like a green gotcha type fly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how this turns out because it's definitely by far it's the fly that I've tied the most of in my life.
Really,
Oh,
eh?
okay.
Um,
How often are your, like, when you're hosting a trip, whether it be in Montana or anywhere else, um, are you supplying flies for your guests,
yeah,
or you're
I
hoping
am.
that they
Yeah.
bring it?
Especially in Montana, like flies are included with my rates,
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
in Texas, because I think that puts a lot of pressure on the angler if it's up to them,
Uh-huh.
because they're going to their fly shop in Atlanta or Dallas or
Toronto.
Chicago or Toronto, hoping that they're getting advice from someone who knows exactly what they're going to need, and then
Right.
you buy $150 worth of flies, and then you get there and your guide's like, we'll just use mine,
Oh, yeah, totally.
which has happened to, I think, anybody who's been on a salt trip.
Yeah, that happened to me. That happened to us in Tobago. Although we didn't have any flies, it was like we came down armed with a lot of tan and white, and then I think I
Yeah.
had a few, like 4 green flies. And he's like, "Oh, is that all the green flies you have?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah."
He's like, oh, really?
This is a rough. I'm about to cut my fingers off, I think.
I
Careful.
know.
That's the thing
So
with
I
this.
guess normally what you use for the body, because I used crystal flash for the tail, and then just kept wrapping that crystal flash because again I
Yeah.
don't have high hopes for this fly, so I didn't want to waste
Sure.
a lot of materials.
Yeah.
So, because normally the body's what, Mylar or
So I use a Mylar tail, like a little flash out the back, and then flat diamond braid or diamond
Yep.
braid.
Yep.
But yeah, you can also use crystal flash, and that's usually what I use once I run out of the diamond braid, because the diamond braid, it tends to be more expensive. I know a guy, a really reputable, famous bone fishing guide down in Andros named Sean Leedon. His dad actually invented the gotcha,
Oh, whoa,
Whoa,
no way.
cool.
and Sean
Should have him on the
uses
show.
crystal flash, and he likes to wrap, different colors, be it tan, UV, pearl, yada yada yada.
Uh-huh.
But this is sort of his take on the fly. It's a bigger profile. He'll use like up to a 2, and maybe even a 1 sometimes if he's fishing for the really big bruiser bonefish.
Yeah.
So, and now with the EP, am I tying that on the eye side of the, like, which
Yep.
side
So,
of the
you'll
or the
flip it.
barbell?
You'll flip it under. Flip the hook upside down and lay that
Right.
wing up towards the eye of the hook. Yeah, and then wrap it in, and that's probably the hardest part of any of like a same thing with a clouser is, not putting the eyes too close to the barbell or the bead chain too close to the eye of the hook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've screwed that up,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
All right.
Rock and roll. I didn't actually get dubbing because I couldn't find any with my hands, so
Excuse me, sorry.
I just went back to tying on the hackle.
If flies had to be pretty for them to work,
Yeah.
I'd never catch a fish. I am 100% a utilitarian fly tire.
Yeah.
Matt, I think you tied a fly
Yep.
I think you tied a fly like when we were in Texas.
Yeah.
You tied a fly like the first night we were there. It was like a purple and black crab type thing.
Uh-huh.
I put it on my rod and I didn't take it off the whole time. I think I boated like 30 fish.
Yeah, it was like a toad, sort of.
Yeah.
Like a carpet toad.
Ow.
And that fly
Definitely
was
got
sick, man. That fly was so
The
good.
fly was sick.
Yeah.
With that EP, it was like a cross wrap, like EP crab head with just craft fur and maybe some marabou for the tail.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah, that's.
Matt, what are you tying up during these times of isolation? Getting ready for your season ahead. What we talked about it a little bit in the podcast, but maybe after we'll show the flies.
Yeah, so I fish a lot of dry flies.
Yeah.
And I found myself a couple of years ago spending hundreds of dollars on chubby Chernobyls of all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Because it's really like the client's gift to dry fly fishing. They can see it, they can float it.
Yeah.
Man, I hope this is in.
I just thinking that I'm like, I don't know if I actually got the fibers in the.
I think I should probably just, no, I'm on the last step.
God, I have an extra long hook shank, and I just like keep tying on feathers one after another and running out of material, and I don't know what's going on. It's chaos.
Yeah, so there's one.
Yeah.
The really small chubbies are just amazingly versatile on the Madison. Though, you can fish it as a caddis, a moth, an ant, a small hopper.
Yeah.
It seems like the colors change in popularity by the fish every couple of years. Like 4 or 5 years ago, they were all about the purple body, and lately it's been like royal and cinnamon.
Okay.
And
cinnamon.
So yeah, cinnamon. It's more pink than red cinnamon.
Yeah. Okay.
And so yeah, I just tie a real basic one, like no flash. It's pretty muted.
Yeah.
And I use a tan wing or a gray wing instead of a white wing.
Yeah.
Because I do think those fish kind of get wise.
Yeah.
To that big white afro.
Yeah.
On top of the fly.
Totally.
After a while. And that seems to keep it visible and buoyant, but still trick some fish. My other adjustment to it is instead of tying it on a stimulator hook, which is most commercially tied chubbies are.
Yeah.
Tie it on this wide gap hook, and I can't, off the top of my head, think of the brand, but it's a 16.
Okay.
14s and 16s, so it's real small. But yeah, I use that wide gap hook. It's about as deep as it is long, and we have very few fish come off of that hook.
Huh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sometimes on those commercially tied ones, the dubbing is too thick for the gap in the hook, and they just
true.
Just shake. The big brown will jump and shake its head, and
yeah, no good hook set.
He wrote, yeah.
Yeah.
I was so surprised by this. Like, you gotta understand, Matt, our fish populations are not as near what the Madison is.
Yeah.
And definitely not the average fish size is much higher on the Madison than here. So when I first got to the Madison and I saw some fish sipping on one of those, there's like a lot of side channels, or at least I was finding on the Madison that I could wade,
Yeah.
And just seeing these fish like tight to the bank, just sipping, and they, to me, I'm like, oh, that's probably like a 10-inch fish, and then you hook into them and it's more like a 16 to 18, and it was like, oh,
yeah,
man, what a place.
Yeah, it's funny. You read books about the Madison, and it talks about it's a blue ribbon trout stream and a great nymph fishery, which it is. We have a lot of aquatic insects, but people sort of
I just broke my thread.
As a dry fly river, and in my mind, that's what I grew up fishing on the Madison with dry flies, and I had to learn from other guides how to nymph it, just certain times a year to get a successful day.
Yeah.
I know it. I know how those fish hold when they're looking for bugs on top. And I think I may have
I just broke my thread.
I just whip finished.
Did you?
Oh God.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try and get my thread back in the bobbin.
I think I'm as good as I'm gonna be.
Okay, well,
I whip finished and cut, and then so I feel like I tapped out.
Okay, I was at the whip finish point, so I can probably take the blindfold off and then I can whip finish, because I'm not gonna get the thread back in the bobbin.
I have taken my blindfold off. I have whip finished.
3, 2, 1.
Blindfold off.
You know what? Not horrible.
Yeah, I actually, I'm kind of stoked on mine. I actually also completely changed kind of what I was doing halfway through.
Okay. So what did we end up? Oh, Matt, let's see that again.
So I totally just captured and spun all the craft fur.
I love it.
I don't know, man. I think that might work.
Oh, it totally would work.
It looks sick. That looks great.
But the only real mistake is I didn't capture the what do you call it? The diamond braid in front of the eyes, so it slipped off.
Oh man. Well, what can you do?
I have seen bonefish eat something that looked worse than that. So
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm gonna whip. Okay, Mitch, this is kind of your idea. So what are the rules? Like, can I clean up the fly a little bit?
No.
Or no?
No.
Mm,
This is it, baby.
this is it, eh?
What you got is what you got. Here's
Okay.
what I tied.
oh yeah, look at you.
Look at the little kick on the front. It's got like a little foot.
Yeah,
You know?
it'll make it kind of wobble to one side.
Yeah, exactly.
Twig.
Exactly. I gotta fish this though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got to.
I actually have a lot of faith in this one.
Yeah, your next huge saltwater trip, that's the only fly you can use.
I love it. We'll see how we do.
Yeah, like the next time I try to put myself in front of a bonefish, I've got to use this.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Let's see it,
you
baby.
go.
Oh man,
It's great.
Like it's got a hilariously long, not only
That's-
tail,
totally recognizable.
but like it's
Nice. It works.
it works. I don't know if
Yeah.
my
That's
Sony
way
can see that
more
properly.
recognizable than that. That
I think that's pretty good. Like it looks like a fly that's just been kind of hit a few times, like maybe a fly at the end of the day, you know?
this is the non-blindfolded.
I
Oh,
dig
that's
it.
beautiful.
That's beauty. It's a
Yeah.
beauty.
That's cool.
That's cool, man. That's pretty close. Well,
So-
we'll fish them and we'll see how they do. We'll see if we can catch fish on them, and when they do, we'll post them up on the internet so people can
Oh
see.
hell yeah!
Mhm.
But yeah, that was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that.
Pretty happy with that too.
I also
for a quarantine activity, that was pretty awesome.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, blindfolded tying. I know. I think we're gonna
Yeah.
get pretty good at it too by the end of it. We'll be able to
Yeah.
tie at nighttime, you know?
Behind your back.
Yeah,
I'll fish this. I'll fish the out of this.
Oh
Yeah, dude.
Awesome.
would.
Amazing. Well, that's another successful blindfolded fly tying video. Everybody, thanks for watching at home, and yeah, that's it
Yeah,
for
thanks,
me.
Matt.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was fun.
Thanks for coming on the show, Matt, and listen to the podcast, SoFly.ca. And yeah, hopefully we can connect in August, man. Fish in Montana would be awesome.
For sure. Love to
Definitely got to
you
have
up
you up here as well. So yeah,
Yeah, we definitely have to have you up here, man.
100%.
there. I know. I need to go catch all those species that I've never even thrown at before.
Yeah, man. So fun.
Maybe next year when you're in runoff,
Yeah.
you can take that week to come up here. Like first week of June would be perfect timing
Yeah,
That would be,
to go do
Dope.
pike and smallmouth.
that'd be dope.
that'd be killer.
It'd be super fun. Wicked. Well, thanks everybody for watching at home, and see ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Cool.